So now what we did is we tried to simply declare an array, and then we tried to call print function using for each. Now why did we define a function, or why do why should one define a function? Generally we define a function so that there is a reusability, so that we can keep on calling same function again and again. But if at all your intention is to use this function only for the printing of this array only, which means you have no intention of calling this function again and again, then instead of giving a name to a function, we have a shorthand syntax for function writing in ES6. So it will be something like, you don't have to provide name to the function. No function keyword is absolutely required. You need not specify the type. You can just get rid of it. And now the name becomes token, and this content goes to a simple arrow operator we will use. If you have ever used C# lambda expression syntax, it's something similar. So name goes to this function body, and then wherever I have authored or called for print function, I'll replace that content with the content of this. So if I just format the code, it looks like I have array. I am going to iterate through for array using for each, and then during iteration, whatever is the element that it keeps on getting, whether it is Jayesh or whether it is Nalini or Rohit or Nilesh, these contents I'll keep on passing to some sort of function, and then that function will take the parameter as in name in name token or name variable or name parameter, and that is something we can utilize over here. So let's see whether this particular code or arrow function without an function name works over here. So again, I'm going to delete or maybe you can just remove this content from JS file. So the zigzag lines, basically Visual Studio Code tries to do the comparison with JS and TS, and tries to tell you all the time that array is already declared in the associated.js file. So it's a kind of VS Code's feature, so you can ignore that. I'll go to content again or command prompt again, and let's try to again transpile the content one more time. So it did transpile, and let's try to run it again using Node. It prints it one more time on the console as it is. So now if you see, the code actually works as it is. So whether a function has a name or not, it doesn't matter in this case. Now this syntax is something which is shorthand syntax that we have. But then what will happen if there are multiple parameters that we have? You don't need to pass on, meanwhile, you don't need to have these brackets even, authored. If at all there are like statements like one statement or so, you can just ignore those curly brackets that we have. Do I need this round brackets as well? You don't need these round brackets, and you can even make it more short. So you can shorten it even by removing those brackets. So for each and then there is a function which this code will be converted to, which will take name parameter, and then we'll have console.log and name parameter will be printed on the console. One more time, what we can do is I can try removing this, save it. Let's go back to console. Let's use TSC, and then let's use Node. So it should convert it now. It's taking longer time, and let's run it. It prints exactly same content one more time, and it has rather expanded your content in .js. So for each, it has given function, it has given a name, rather function word is used, and then there are like typical curly bracket syntax that we have in the earlier version of JavaScript. So you'll find out this is shorthand syntax for us, and conversion looks like this. So what will happen if there are multiple parameters? For example, in case of for each, I'm sure all of us, those who have used JavaScript syntax, you may be knowing this, like for each function or for each can take a callback function which normally expects string first, or the function which can have string as first parameter and index as in second parameter. You can very well pass on array as a third parameter in case you require. But then what we need now is, let's say I need to pass on index. So how do I pass on index now? Suppose ID, if I have to assign. Now since there are two parameters that we are going to pass to a function, then expected thing is you have to put round brackets over here, because now these two parameters needs to be passed to a function, and you are free to use those parameters the way you want it. So I'll put here name plus ID. is going to be string plus integer kind of concatenation. So it's going to, result is going to be string now. So let's see whether this code works. One more time, I'll remove the code from .js file. One more time, I'll transpile the code content. And let's run it on the console. So now you'll notice that it has got the 0, 1, 2, 3 appended to the existing content. So you will find out arrow functions play a very vital role in case of TypeScript. This is, though it's a feature of, you can say, ES standard, but you'll find out TypeScript anyway, being superset of JavaScript, we have a support for it. So this becomes very shorthand syntax in here, and then when it goes to JavaScript, it actually kind of, you can say, expands itself to a routine function kind of a code. So in the what new we need to discuss now is something like default parameter and optional parameter concept in case of TypeScript, ultimately in JavaScript.